Yash, how do you not harden your female energy when you're in today's society with all these low-level mentality guys who, if you're expressing your natural feminine self, they can't help themselves. They're just gonna start looking at you really hard, and objectifying you and undressing you and having sex with you in their mind. Like, what do you do? Because see, then the impulse is to harden. What does that mean? It means to basically start acting like them, be all hard, yeah. Not like that, but you're going in that direction. Energetically, you're compromising yourself because a woman, the female nature is God's tender side. She's soft by nature, soft in a good way. It's a soft, yielding strength, though. The ocean's soft as water, like it's nothing. Yeah. Come out here when there's a tsunami. So what do? First, you have to recognize that's your true power, though. You're playing the role, your consciousness, by the way, you're not a woman. Go see my spiritual channel, Spiritual Renaissance. I made this channel to kind of fish, to see who wants to come to my other channel. And also to touch on some subjects that are they're important when you're playing the role as a female. So that's why I made this channel. But I don't think I can post on here too much because I have 4 channels. It's like too much, But I'll be as consistent as I can. So your true self, and you'll find this out when you leave this body, it's consciousness. It's not a female, but you're playing the role of a female. It's like if you're doing a theater play, you can play the role of a male or female. But you're female, but you're playing the role of a male. Okay, you're playing the role, you see? We know that if we're doing a theater production. Well, do we know that this human show is also a production? It's a cosmic production. Your consciousness playing the role as of a female. So that's the first thing. So do you know your nature? Can you feel, or are you so conditioned and programmed by society and everything that you don't realize your natural essence is a receiving, softer, gentler, yielding type of energy? Even the MMA girls, the UFC girls, the girls that are fighting, still, they're girls. I don't care how tough they look. I see, like, they're girls. They have the female essence. So you have to own that. You have to first realize that's the role you're playing. If you play your role good, you're going to feel better and more balanced. This is the point. So first, this is why I'm encouraging and pointing to the fact that you should own what you're playing in life. This is the role you're playing. And so to play that role good means to be aware of this female essence, energy, to be aware of it and then let it come out. Okay, so this brings us to the challenge. When you let it come out, you're gonna get you don't like the reactions you get, you see? That's why you need to go to the spiritual channel, though, because only God or the universe can do that for you, can show you how to do that. I'm going to give an example. Some of you who do the Course in Miracles, you might know Marianne Williamson. Back in the day, 20 years ago, she was the foremost authority who did lectures on Course in Miracles. She spoke at the Wilshire E. Bell Theater in LA, and I would go to see her all the time. And one time, I went up to her after the lecture. I stood in line to meet her, and I said, I need to see you. I was in bad shape at the time. I was trying to find myself. I was suffering with, health issues, etc. And something deep in me spoke to something deep in her. She's like, okay, here's my number. She says, call my secretary. She's living in Santa Barbara. I was in Hollywood. I called the secretary. I got the directions, took a Greyhound bus, went and saw her. When I was there meeting with her, I couldn't help it. I was just continuously trying to flirt with her. blinked my eyes. I was trying to do little things to get her to react to that because I was young. That's just what we do. She didn't like punish me for that or reject me or anything. You know what she did? She just stayed poised. She wasn't feeding on it and liking it, nor was she rejecting it. She stayed poised. And she continued to be herself. She didn't harden up, nothing. She just stayed. She continued to flow. She didn't take it so serious. She didn't personalize it. When you take something serious, you're actually encouraging the guy to continue to do it. Either one. You take it serious or you like it. Either way, you're in that dynamic now. You see? You stay poised, then the universe can do something, can make some adjustments. That's what happened. It's like she was holding a mirror up to me somehow. And I was like, I saw what I was doing. I'm like, this is stupid. You come to this woman for help, and now you're here flirting with her. So I snapped out of it. That's what you got to do. But you can't do it, not with your human power. You need spiritual power backing you to do that for you. That's the answer of how you can not harden yourself in society, be your female natural self, and how you deal with the reactions that you get from guys. Now, there's some guys who they're just stupid as hell. They're girls too. Some they're just very dense and they don't get it. But they're fewer. Those are fewer. And the universe will take care of that too. You got to trust in God. You got to trust the universe, trust existence, whatever word. There's something here that's running this show and is taking care of you. You have to trust that it wants you to be your authentic self because it made you. Why would it make you like you are and then say, oh, but you can't express it? It doesn't make sense. So you have to tap into that. And when you live from your higher nature, you don't pay attention to these, see, a lot of us are sensitive, so you're aware of it. You're aware if it's hot outside, you don't feel like, wearing a bunch of clothes, and you want to be free and flexible and enjoy and, walking around outside, but you don't like the attention that you get or the reactions from the guys. How do you do that? How can you just kind of free flow? You're not wearing much. You're going outside. How do you do that and be comfortable? You stay here. You stay inside. You stay inside your power. You let them perceive and do whatever they want to do. If you're not paying attention to them, if you're not energizing their nonsense, they got no choice but to stop doing it. It's like in prison. It's all about energy. Or jail. I wasn't in prison, but I was in jail when I was younger because I drove on a suspended license a couple times. And it's all about energy in there. It's not about muscles. I mean, that's a factor, but not really. More about energy. Don't be scared, but don't try to be a badass either. You're just poised. You're cool. That diffuses situations. I've personally experienced that I don't know how many times. You just stay solid. You're not trying to do something. You're solid. You're just solid. Same thing when you're in public and you want to just be your natural female self and you get nonsense slack from people. It's okay. Don't hate it and don't like it. I mean, if you can't help it for a while, it's an evolutionary thing. But what I'm pointing to, the real solution here. You're inside, you're with the universe. You and God are a majority, you're flowing. Doesn't matter what they're doing, what they're not doing. This is the point you got to come to, okay? Go see my spiritual channel, Spiritual Renaissance. That will help point to these principles that I'm speaking. Because the answer and solution and antidote is being aware of our spiritual power. We're not going to figure this out on the level of the mind. We just can't. Therapists and other people can give you techniques and talk about this and that, but it's not going to really do anything. You're not going to experience a true shift in consciousness, which is what we need. We need a shift We need just a literal shift. Our orientation needs to change. We go beyond the mind. We're in touch now with a flow, an intuitive power and rhythm now, instead of living from our mind and what we think we should do to best troubleshoot this situation. That doesn't work. There's no power in that. It's too limited. And then we end up compromising and not being our true self. We got to surrender ourselves. See, I can't help but talk spiritual on some level because that's the solution, you know. But go see my other channel if you want to hear more about that. All right, see you.